Do not love half lovers. Do not entertain half friends. Do not indulge in works of the half talented. Do not live half a life, and do not die a half death. If you choose silence, then be silent. When you speak, do so until you are finished. Do not silence yourself to say something, and do not speak to be silent. If you accept, then express it bluntly. Do not mask it. If you refuse, then be clear about it. For an ambiguous refusal is but a weak acceptance. Do not accept half a solution. Do not believe half-truths. Do not dream half a dream. Do not fantasize about half-hopes. Half a drink will not quench your thirst. Half a meal will not satiate your hunger. Half the way will get you nowhere. Half an idea will bear you no results. Your other half is not the one you love. It is you in another time, yet in the same space. It is you when you are not. Half a life is a life you didn't live. A word you have not said, a smile you postponed, a love you have not had, a friendship you did not know. To reach and not arrive, work and not work, attend only to be absent. What makes you a stranger to them closest to you, and they strangers to you? The half is a mere moment of inability, but you are able, for you are not half a being. You are a whole that exists to live a life, not half a life.
That was the poem Do Not Love Half Lovers by Khalil Gibran. Any reflections or comments on what he had to say?
Shall we take a 2 minute silent time? Yeah, so let's, for 2 minutes, we'll just do a silent meditation on what we just heard. Yeah. I think it also reminded me of this Kabir's couplet that we often share. लकड़ी जल कोयला बनी, कोयला जल भयो है राख, मैं अभागन यूं जली, ना कोयला बनी ना राख. So I think it tells us about this adpaki state. We are neither fully there nor fully here. So if I want to say something, I would not say it. But it's not that I'm completely silent within if I have not said. I'm just murmuring, the mind is chattering, and I'm actually talking to myself, although I appear to be silent. Uh, and to me, it also speaks about the essence of mindfulness, that to be fully there wherever you are. If you're saying a no, then in at least that moment, it's a no, and you mean it. But when we are saying usually a no outside, then I'm not meaning it inside, because inside I'm just, what would the other person be thinking if I'm saying no? So a continuous chatter is going on, like a parallel commentary is going on, which we are not mindful of. So I think to me it also refers to the essence of mindfulness, just being there, rooted with the present moment, being with the breath. And if there is a no set, in that moment it's a no. It's actually, we mean to say a no. And if it's a yes, it's a yes. So there is no shame about either a no or a yes. But we are so half here, half there, that I think that is what leads us to misery most of the times. That we are in half this boat, that boat. So what would be my condition? The pants getting torn in between. Almost that stage. Yeah. So I feel poking us to be more and more fully with whatever is going on.
Yes, thank you. And the sad part is that we don't even realize it's half a dream that I'm seeing, right? Like it feels like this is it, right? I have to adjust, I have to accommodate, I have to give the real life time to. So again, like how he says that kind of like your ambiguous refusal is kind of your accepting, right? Like I think once we had read that if you choose not to do something, I mean, and that means you're choosing not to do it. As in, like, sometimes we say that, okay, I don't want to get involved. So it's not that you are clean of it. You chose not to do something about it. So if I see something that is not all right, that is either happening to me or outside, and if I'm like, I am not directly doing it, and yet, because my position or my I don't vocalize it or do anything about it, so I am part of the reason why it is being continued. And it, also reminded me of, how it's said that we all have a calling, but such handful of us seem to be have arrived at what they mean to do, right? And this is the only explanation, right? Like our lives seem tired most of the time, right? Like, and of course, this seeking of completion also stems from living half of everything, right? Like anything I do, like, and that's why, say, if they were, say, Leila Majnu, like they did it, like there was so much passion that they would rather die, right? And we still remember them now. Like, these, like again, how mother says that vital, the passion is better than total. Just, okay, it's just working, something is happening. So if you have a dream, dream it, give it your everything. If you want to hope, just singing कि वो सुबह कभी तो आएगी does not suffice, right? Like if I don't do anything about it. And it also, said that like how, a lost friendship or or a loss. Love is something you didn't know. So how many things I miss because I'm not willing to do it fully, right? Like I'm somehow it feels rather even scared to touch something fully because it feels intimidating.
I think
Very
this
beautiful
this
words,
also
yeah.
refers to self-giving. Now, Mother Sri Aurobindo talk about complete surrender or self-giving. So I think just like I'm not able to give myself to any work, any person fully, anything, any moment, if we can say, if any moment is there, I'm just not being able to give myself fully. And the same thing continues when we arrive at the spiritual path, that I'm not able to give myself fully. It's because something keeps me tied on, as you said, glued to other stuff which seems more real, more important. And that fullness in even offering myself to either a moment or anything, a path, a person, a moment in time, it doesn't happen. And as you rightly said, that it keeps me still thirsty. So, although I am seeking to complete my thirst, but since I don't give myself fully, there is no joy in the being, and I want more and more and more, and that joy never comes. And for those of us who have even for a moment tasted the joy of giving themselves fully, either to a work or any life situation, I think there, even if it may appear like a uh, maybe failure on the outward shallow surface, but it actually a joy inside because I gave myself fully, and that itself is a joy. Yeah.
I think giving oneself is like, again, like you said, it has its joy. But here, like it's pointing out, he was pointing out to doing everything half heartedly, right? And again, I'm just repeating this, but this seeking that we have from outside, somehow it never gets completed because I am not completely seeking, even, right? Like, and the seeking is always outside, not realizing that I am half present to each and every moment, to each and every activity. I hold myself back. You know how we say "theek theek laga lo," like don't go overboard, don't go crazy. That's what we say, right? Maintain a balance.
Excuse me.
So,
But aren't these
yeah.
two, yeah, aren't these two things contradictory when we say that uh, give yourself up completely and uh, sambhal ke chalo or have a balance? So these two things, aren't they contradictory?
Yeah, that's what I said. That are these things that we are told and we live by, that be careful, don't give yourself, don't go crazy. Has that worked for me? And is it not stopping me from experiencing anything in fullness? So just questioning and reflecting on that, because they sound like a very sane advice, right? But is that sanity letting me live fully?
Yeah, it is not letting us live fully, isn't it? Because, yeah, we have been in that mindset throughout, or brought up in that kind of an atmosphere where we are told not to have a balance, like you are saying, that not to give up completely. But then, if you are walking on this path, on this journey, then you have to surrender completely. And that complete surrender, yeah, it will take time. I think it will take time. The mindset needs to change to give up completely and to surrender to what we believe in.
Yeah. So, Sunita ji, in the large time frame, what you said is completely resonating, that it will take time, the complete surrender. But we have to realize that surrender is a binary movement. In any one movement, आज के क्षण में, आज के पल में, अभी का जो चल रहा है समय, in any one moment, either I am acting from a state of surrender or it's an unsurrendered state. I think that is what we have to focus on, and forget the larger picture for a while, that it will happen in, because what happens if I keep a focus on this larger picture कि अभी slowly होगा, अभी तो मेरे, it takes time, then even these little moments where we get chance to full surrender, we miss. So we had earlier, because this is more like we want to keep it silent meditation sessions and not much of reflection. But we had in earlier sessions talked about surrender, which I share with you, where we talked about that surrender is either there in one moment or not there in one moment. So can we just take care of that, in small baby moments?
And just one last thought, that if I'm not able to do anything in completion, how can I even talk about being able to surrender fully? Like when I start doing anything fully, then only maybe, or it can be other way too, but I just need to recognize that these half lives will not lead to a fullness anywhere, maybe spiritual, mental, physical, just that. Yes, Sham.
Yeah, oh, well, right from very formative years, we are taught that we should always follow the middle path and do the balancing act. And we quite do it. We do it quite often, and what you call quite often than before. But many times when we feel passionate, really passionate, what you call dead passionate about something, we do take the path untrodden, okay, and we do get ourselves into uncharted waters. So it all depends that what we are able to resonate with, where we are able to see ourselves that would better fit into this frame, and then we may take that, what you call, we may give ourselves 10% to that. So it all depends on the timing and circumstances. Many a times some passing by things come which we may not be that, which we may not connect to in that manner, and so we just let it pass and let it go and wait for a bigger opportunity.
Yes, Sham. I think everything is relative, and wherever we can do whenever, just a recognition, I think, is a step in itself. Thank
Just
you.
like that half filled and a half empty glass, a pessimist would say that it is one half empty, an optimist would say that it is half filled. A relativist would say that it is half empty in comparison to half full and half full in comparison to half empty. And an utopian would think that it might become half full at any point of time. So maybe it's like that only.
Yeah.
And a surrealist would keep a shield and then shade from other ends, and then maybe a frame in between and then shade from both the ends. So, so I don't know.
Yeah. So I think coming back to I am awareness. So being more and more aware of anything that I'm holding on to or the way I'm living seems like the way to move forward. So bringing us back like this, yeah, I will now, we still have 16 minutes, share a question and a small meditation from Thai, Thich Nhat. I'll share that. So here the question that was asked was, how do I love myself? I hope you can now see and hear it.
How do you love yourself? First of all, you breathe in mindfully and you become aware that you have a body. Breathing in, I know I have a body. The body is a very important part of yourself. You spend 2 hours with your computer, you are stressful, and you don't know how to stop. And you forget completely that you have a body. during these 2 hours. You are looking for something in the future, in your work, why your body suffers. So the first act of love is to breathe in and to go home to your body. Breathing in, I know I have a body. Hello, body. I'm home. I take care of you. So to be aware of body is to the beginning of love. And when mind is home to body, mind and body are established in the here and the now. And you might notice two things with the practice of mindful breathing. The first thing you notice is that your body is a wonder. You have to rediscover that your body is a wonder. Biologists, others have been trying to understand the body. That is a masterpiece of the cosmos. Your body is a wonder. Your body is the seat of consciousness, of the consciousness of the cosmos. And you don't know the value of your body. Your body contains all information of the history of the cosmos. In every cell of your body, you can recognize the presence of your ancestors. Not only human ancestors, but animal, vegetal, and mineral ancestors. And all your ancestors are still alive in your body with their weakness and with their strength. You might have taken your body for granted, but it is a wonder. Your brain, the neocortex, is a very sophisticated kind of organization. The cosmos have come together in order to produce this wonder, which is your body. And if you can get in touch with your body, you can get in touch with the whole cosmos, with all your ancestors, and also with all the future generations that are already inside of your body to manifest later. Do you have the capacity to appreciate that wonder that is your body? Mother Earth is in you, not underneath or above or around you, but in you also. And Father Sun is also in you. You are made of sunshine. You are made of fresh air, of fresh water. And to be
Now, let's spend the next 5 minutes reflecting on what was shared, bringing a breath, I mean, being with the breath and reflecting and being with the body. Seems strange that I leave my body and the mind goes there and there. So now let's try to be with the breath and be with the body.
And if the mind wanders around to the thought, we bring it back to the breath. So very simply, bringing the mind home to the body with a thread of breath. The last 2 minutes, not buying into the mental chatter, even if it is there. For these 5 minutes, 2 minutes, we'll just bring the mind simply back home to the body.
remembering, like I said, Mother Earth is in me, Father Sun is in me. I am made of fresh air. Each breath is a wonder. My body is a wonder. I might feel there are so many things I don't have, yet I fail to see there is so much, so much, so much that I have that I don't see, that I take for granted. So we are almost reaching our end. We have 2 minutes, not our end, the end of the session. In case if there is any reflection on what I said or any other thought, please share before we end. So I think just then we can leave with this. I don't know, we can try to practice more of coming back to the body. Like he said, that hi body, I'm home. I really like the ease and the sweetness with which he said it. Because somehow, again, our minds don't go for something that sounds simple. And yet, when we put effort into these small things of being aware of our body, maybe even 2 to 3 times a day, that what am I doing? Where am I? How am I breathing? Like just how they say, a minute, a pause, we realize how much we are not present. So just again bringing to our awareness that there is so much that I am unaware of, that I can be mindful of, to live a more complete life, to live my life fully. So with this, we'll end the session at 7:10. Thank you so much and have a good day and a great week. Thank you.